Hi.
Here we are.
G'day.
Welcome,
We're
welcome.
here.
What's up?
G'day.
Hello
Kurt.
from down under.
Kurt wins the MVP award already for showing up at 1:30 in the morning.
Well, he's in God's
Just one.
country.
It's
That's
only
why.
1 a.m.
No, 1 a.m. No, it hasn't got to 1:30 yet.
Oh, phew.
That's solid,
Queensland
mate.
kids. Big shout out from down under.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Tell us where
I'm
you
jealous.
Just on the Gold Coast at the beautiful Tallabudra Valley, the Parentals place.
are. Is that why
That's
you're
in Tim
whispering? You
Tams.
keeping it quiet today?
Well, I'm just testing out the mic. I saw last time I got a bit too hot, so you got to keep me under control.
No.
Never too hot.
Open it up, mate. Open it up. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Get
Get
angry.
excited. Look out.
Why not? The
I do have a
killer
question, though,
Kaylee
Nate. You know,
McKeown Euro pool party.
Mm.
Get it started.
I do have a question, Nate, for the golden race. Was
Yeah.
there no women's race?
There was a women's race, but they didn't
Okay.
show either one of these races. And
I
it-
can't
it
see the
like-
women's race.
I'll send it to you because it is
Okay.
on the internet. But
Was it weird?
yeah, they were both weird because I don't think they were using the right splits. Like the men's, they were just going off. People were trying to like calculate everything, the difference between the times, and it just didn't seem like it was right. Plus,
It's just a
some
bit-
people pulled out. I don't think there was any money on the line. That's why this shit was so fake.
Mm, mm.
You know?
It seemed just a bit awkward for them. I saw the men's. It was just a bit awkward. I was expecting more.
I think it's not a bad idea. You know, like everyone's trying to do something different. You know,
Yeah. Put some money on the
Burger
line.
King crowns and all sorts of stuff. So, but the story of the weekend is obviously Killer McKeown again. Kurt, take it away.
Killer.
Yeah, I reckon we got to start a new segment called "Make It Make Sense," and then we can cover some things in that. Because
Speak
there are
up,
a few
Kurt.
things-
Speak up. Get that mic up on that face, mate.
How about that? Is that
Yeah.
That's
Oh, way
better.
better.
all right? So I was just saying we should do it. Yeah, we should do a segment called "Make It Make Sense," and I've got a list of things there, and I reckon the golden race is in the "Make It Make Sense." But yeah, I think we'll
Aqua
get to that
right
afterwards.
underneath aqua points. At
And
least,
yeah,
when,
I
at
agree.
least, at least when they added the aqua points up, whatever they are made up of, like it generally looked like it was pretty accurate. You know, like at least they gave
Yeah.
the award to Kaylee McKeown and Chin Haiyang. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah, they won it by a mile.
2 world records, pretty big weekend.
Yeah, huge. So she takes 1.2 off in the 50. Takes down China's Lu Wang's world mark set in 2018. 100 backs up. So 2 world records in 2 days. Lowers her own mark. 57.33, another 0.2 off her own mark that she set a couple of years back. Does the triple sweep, which we all thought she would do. 51.2 back, Berlin, Athens, Budapest. Mix that with the world champs triple that she did in Fukuoka. She's going to win World Swimmer of the Year. There's no doubt about that. First women's backstroker in history to have the 51-200 world record. No, Egazeki had the 100 and the 200 for a couple of years there. Obviously, the 50 world record didn't come in until 97. So
All right.
what more
Yeah.
could she have really done this calendar year? Like it's just been
Well,
near
what
perfect.
more can you do? Like she is not tapered. She's traveling the world, like going to swim meets. Like,
Yeah.
it's October. Like, how, like, what is the next level? If she was shaved and tapered, is she going faster?
Well, Hawkeye, you tell me, Meg, you tell me, what sessions is she doing with Michael Bowl? Like, what can she produce? I'd love, like, Bowley's not going to tell you, but she must be doing some crazy stuff. No?
Yeah, I asked Bolly straight up. I said, like how can she go from a 50? How can she go from the 50 up to the 200? Like it's such like 3 different events really, and I just find that she's got the speed, yet she's got endurance or middle distance endurance. Like one goes for 27 seconds, and the other one goes for 2:03, and it's pretty special. And Bowley didn't elaborate at all, so he didn't say anything to me. But he did say that she's been working on her turns. Her free swim time is absolutely is up there, but she's really been disciplined and consistent with working her turns underwater and her starts. So I feel for me, like the thing that stood out in that 100 backstroke world record was her turn and her backhand speed. She split 28-1, 29-1. Like 29-1 in a second 50 of 100 backstroke. Like, well, for a 1 second difference in 100 backstroke is, mind blowing. So she's definitely got speed, but she can hold on to it as well through that fatigue. I was actually pretty surprised she went that fast in the 200. She went 206 in Athens. So, 204 is so solid still. She went out a little bit slow, I think, for that 200 backstroke, but she had a big meet. So 2 world records. I was going for 3 from 3, like give her 100%. But so I don't even know if there's a secret to her training. I think she's just got a killer instinct and she's consistent all the way through, and she's working on those, that technique and the underwaters and her start, like the little things in there as well. So she's just an all-round athlete. She's lean. She's, working on her technique, working on her skills, but also she's just got that mindset. She just gets up and races. So I do think she knows. I messaged her during the week, and now she knows that she's got a big target on her back come Paris. But I think she loves it.
What?
Yeah, I think she loves it.
Oh, she just realized that now? Like that just hit her? Oh shit, now I've got a big target on
now
my back.
I've got all
Paris.
3.
What the hell are you talking about?
I must be a favorite.
Wow.
I think, but I think she quite likes pressure. I don't know. It's hard. I think it's hard going into an Olympic year she's going to have a lot of pressure if those world records stay, like all the world records. Obviously the 50 back is not in there, but it is like she's got so much momentum and to keep going all the way through to August next year. But I still think she's the best in the world, obviously. And I think she loves pressure, and I think she can absolutely step up and claim the 100, 200 again in Paris. So
what girls can even beat her? What girls are under 58 right now? Reagan Smith, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
that's all mental, I feel.
This girl's looking for 56. And
the scary thing is, I think she might get it. I think she honestly might get it. Like whether it's Paris or not, she's going to go 56. I think she's got the belief now. She's got speed. She's only getting better, which is scary. So,
but still, when you look at the stat, like Reg isn't that far off her at her best, is she?
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of, do you get the feel and to see what she's doing at the moment, that focus, you get the feeling is starting to shift to a 200 fly. That's looks like her main goal. When you've got someone like Kaylee in the form she's in, it's not like she can't dodge it. She's going to have to race at least one of those backstroke events. But you get the feeling that movement has gone a little bit to the 200 fly for her. But I've got a few questions for Kaylee. Number one, does she go to Doha next year and there's like 20 grand a hit? You do the triple, there's 60 grand. You can just go yoink.
What did she just win overall? What did she get overall? Like 200 grand out of this?
Yeah, US too. So like over 380,000 Australian.
Yeah.
So nearly 400 grand. I just don't think the money for her is worth it rather than Olympic gold. I don't know, like ask any kind of swimmer. Olympic gold. Money is good, right? But I think for her, maybe Olympic gold is dangling kind of up a little bit higher than, 60 grand. But
yeah, I don't think she'd go there for the money. I think she'd go if it suited her race strategy and her race plan, if she needed more racing, if she feels like, I did this series to get my racing in so that then I can go back and do a block of work before trials. Maybe I think that's kind of where Bowley's head is usually at. Like, okay, let's get this in now and then let's go back and train. I would lean more towards that than anything.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if she did go to Doha. But she's a surprising kind of gal.
200 IM. Does any of this change putting 200 IM into the program for Paris? Obviously, we saw her get DQ'd at the World Champs.
Yeah, I think she should do it. I think it's a nice little distraction from backstroke. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed training up something other than your main stroke. I think it's quite important sometimes, especially for 200s, to have, if your backstroke's off or anything like that, you've got a couple of other strokes to get through and not just waste a session. So she's still world class as well. So it might be a little bit harder in that event, but I say absolutely go for it.
Well,
she doesn't want to do the 400
not off next year.
Let's hope she's not having a
oh wow, shit, my backstroke's off. I might just swim the 2 IM instead.
It's really off.
Yeah, it's really off.
I say 200 IM. She'll do 100, 200 back and 200 IM. I reckon.
Okay.
Might even try for the 4x2 freestyle.
When you look at what Christina Egazeki's achieved in her career as a backstroker, and people are very quick to forget, obviously, triple Olympic champ in the 200, 88, 92, 96. Did the 1-2 double in 88, I think, from memory. She ended up winning the 400 IM in 96 as well. And then that record in the 200 backstroke, which is the world record holder for something like 17 years, from 91, and then took Coventry in a floaty suit in 2008 to break it, is pretty crazy. What does Kaylee have to achieve to supersede Egazeki as the greatest female backstroker we've ever seen in the history of the sport?
I think Olympic gold, obviously, again. Like, if she can go,
has to do it with hairy armpits, just like Egazeki. I think if she wins next year and she decides not to shave under her arms, I think she goes and she
goes to legendary status.
Legendary.
She just goes
and
up
both arms up, claiming.
Just claim it, and she got full head.
Not even
armpits.
Shaved.
Yeah, I think
she's just got that pistol picture, and then in a headlock.
And she drops a double F-bomb. She dropped one last time. This one she has to drop double.
Yeah.
But I think she knows. I think she knows that records are obviously there to be broken, right? They are. They're going to be broken, but no one can take away, Olympic gold medals. So I think she has to go 100, 200 double, and she'll be, if not even. But people are so quick to forget history, right? Unless you're a real swimming nut. But people, different generations are always going to go, oh, who? Like, yeah, that's just in history. So people now might not know or might not have seen Egazeki swim, so they don't know who she is. It becomes irrelevant.
I tried to get her on the podcast.
Absolutely.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I reached out.
Oh,
you tried?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Really?
That would be cool. She'd be a really interesting person.
Try again, Brett.
Try again.
Yep,
Try again. Okay.
Well,
it took 4 years to get Peter van der Hoogenbaan. So
what a cool name to say. But yeah, I think she's going to go 1-2 double. I think she's going to go a double again, and she's on that level. If not, I don't know what more. I don't know what more she can do after that. After that, what more do you do?
Well, you know how many Australians in history have won back-to-back individual doubles?
Tell us. We love these stats. Zero.
Not Dawn, not Thorpe, not Hackey, not Perkins,
crazy.
not Rose, not Teal. So she'd be the only swimmer in history to
What about Popov? Popov was living in
Olympic
Australia
gold.
when he went back to back.
The other
Smoking his
interesting thing
cigars.
is not just obviously Arnie gets a shot at it as well in the 2 and the 4.
Arnie does. Yep. So does Emma McKeown.
And Em gets a shot at 50 and 1. And you think at the moment Kaylee's in the box seat to do it. Arnie, you wouldn't back against her. She's a big chance. It's tough for her though. And Em's facing a real tough challenge. Also, but to have 3 women on the cusp of immortality in Australia is pretty. It's pretty awesome. That's for sure.
I think that just shows you like the state of Australian women's swimming right now, right? 3 women have the opportunity to go back-to-back Olympics at the next Olympics. That's pretty crazy. This last cycle has been pretty much all Australia on the women's side of things.
Well, let's just talk about the state of, very briefly, if we can, otherwise we'll go down the rabbit hole, the state of, Swimming Australia, full stop. And at an organizational level, at a board level, I don't think it's ever been worse. And, we saw that this week where they almost got booted from World Aquatics. They left
That's
it to
just a bunch of boring
the 11th hour
BS crap.
to get their act together, like for it to come to that. But and people come to, obviously they know I'm involved in swimming. They love it. They ask me like, "Oh, the sport's in trouble." Blah blah blah. I'm like, back up.
The best it's ever been.
High performance, best it's ever been. So what a bizarre world we're living in here at the moment in Australia, where the organisation is the worst it's ever been, but the high performance part of it is the best it's ever been. It's a really, it's a really odd mix. And the first thing that comes to mind is that the high performance people don't need that side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's running its own race. And now that 21 board members, is it now? And World Aquatics has got to have someone on there, and the whole thing is a real.
So what's the real rub? Why is it in such chaos? Well, these people just are volunteers and they can't get along in the direction of where they want to go. It's like when you're the best team in the whole world, you'd think everything would be going like swimmingly.
Good dad joke.
It's leadership. Comes down to leadership, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what are you?
And funding as well.
Well, they've gone through what four plus CEOs in as many cycles. Like it's crazy how they're leaderless at the moment. Still don't have, they have an interim CEO at the moment trying to get things back on. But it's and then the states are like having the states aren't seeing eye to eye as well, and especially Queensland. That's where Gina's, gone to, and what Swimming Queensland is doing, they're doing it on their own. Look at Queensland as a state. Look at the amount of swimmers they've got. Look at the amount of programs they've got. Look at their whole structure. What they're doing is putting, Swimming Australia to shame right now. And I don't even know if they're talking. I couldn't give you an honest answer.
Correct. How long are you down there for?
Swimming Queensland and Swimming Australia. Here for 3 weeks almost.
All right, do some sniffing around, mate. Get your little
get in there.
Get in there and just get a little sniff around,
Let's just have Gina on. Big D.
But she does sponsor them directly through Swimming Queensland. So that tells you a little bit about that she's working directly with Swimming Queensland and not Swimming Australia, because she wants those funds to go directly to the athletes. So that tells you a little bit about the background as well about Swimming Australia. But you're right, Kurt. Like I think leadership has a big thing to do with it, and where the sport's going. So,
well, it's interesting.
It's not just about now. Like it's not just about now.
If you have a bad GM as an NFL team or an NBA team or a baseball team, you're gonna suck.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you have a bad GM and bad board members of a national governing body for swimming, doesn't matter. You can still be the best swimming country in the world, which I guess is kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And makes right. Like you've got Gina like putting the money through Queensland Swimming to go to all the swimmers. And it's not just the money that they've got. It's the trust. Yeah. Gina trusts Swimming Queensland. She doesn't trust Swimming Australia off the back of their track record. And that's
what they were. The athletes were getting payments late or something. And so this is why Gina made this big hubbub. Is that's why?
I think there's a bit more to it. I think there was a little bit more to it, but I don't know the 100%
Let's just get her on.
Let's get her on.
All right, get us a podcast with Gina, mate. Come on, line that up.
I think she'd drop some bombshells, to be fair.
Oh, good.
But from our perspective, from a swimming fan's perspective, from a competitive swimming enthusiast, the high performance unit it's fine, and and they've gone through their own issues as well with reviews as well, and into bullying and all those kind of things, and that's not isolated just to swimming. That's isolated to every sport, and every sport's had to make changes in how they run things. And I'm sure if you asked any member of that Dolphins team, especially in the last 12 to 18 months, it's the team you want to be a part of.
Yeah, it's getting better and better.
And you can't get those results like we've seen in London in 2012. If the vibe's bad out of the pool, it's so much harder to get the results in the pool.
It's toxic.
It just filtered through. So they're getting the result out of the pool, and they're getting the results in it.
All right, let's go back to the World Cup, round this thing up. Who else we got on the World Cup circuit?
Well, Purple Dragon, and I feel for Purple Dragon as well, Chin Haiyang. I feel for him in that Kaylee just overshadows him and what he's produced this year as well. He's almost done a carbon copy of what Kaylee did. 51-2 at the World Champs, broke the world record in the 2, took Stubletty Cook's time down, and then goes on the World Cup tour and cuts sick as
Dominates.
well. Gets the triple. My biggest question for him is can he keep his money? Are we going to see a cent of it?
Oh, look.
I hope so.
When you're a Chinese athlete like that, man, they get paid. You're a superstar. It's big time, So I'm not worried about him keeping his money. He's getting papered. He's gonna get taken care of over there.
Do you think he breaks Petey's world records in the 100 or the 50 between now and Paris or at Paris?
It's interesting because he's close to the 50.
I know that.
Yeah, he's closer to the 50 than the 100.
Yeah.
Well, he's not doing that in Paris because there is no 50. So here's the thing with the 50s. We're seeing this 50, 100, 200 sweep from these off events where they don't have a designated Olympic gold. Are these 50s soft? That's the question I'm asking here. Is Kaylee McKeown's 50 backstroke record, is that a soft world record? Is Quinn Animal Chin, Purple Dragon, is he a soft record too? Is this 50 breaststroke a soft record? Are we going to see specialists in the future once we start handing out Olympic gold? And then all of a sudden these world records in the 50s of stroke become monster records.
Yeah, I'd say all the 50 form strokes a week. Like I said, we've only had world records since 97. And before then we had world bests. So you'd think surely that's where the biggest impact's going to come in the next decade.
Yeah. I think the answer is yes, right? Like how many athletes that are old are retiring because there isn't a 50 fly? There's lots of them. Santos is a great example. He's like 40. Like if you make it an Olympic event, people will be able to continue their careers for many, many, many more years, like a couple of cycles, in fact, and still be able to do it. Shit, Michael Andrew, man, he could be pushing 50 years old and still make an Olympic team in a 50. I'm saying it's potentially possible,
especially
with those ketones he's drinking or whatever he's doing.
Here comes Mr. Ketone right here. Go ahead, Ketone Kurt.
I don't want to start. Someone asked me if I was drunk. I don't actually drink, so that's what a great compliment. Am I drunk?
Yeah,
it's 1:30 in the morning. Give him a shot.
He's just been out.
Just been out with the kangaroos.
Raven.
The fifth. What we joke about it. What do the 50s have to do to get in the Olympics now? Like the Olympics are desperate to get eyeballs, and we've seen it. Like for LA, cricket is in, flag football is in. Dude, we can't get 6 more 50s in there. I'm
like done even talking about it, because it's just no one has any influence. World Aquatics begged for it for years. IOC wouldn't put it in. USA Swimming begged for it. All these people everyone wants it, and they're just like, nope, there's too many medals. Which is true. Like swimming's crazy ridiculous.
It is to have a lot.
There's all these we're gonna have on the podcast. We're gonna have Anthony Irvin. Anthony, we need you, buddy. Come on the podcast. Tell us why we don't have 50s of strokes, mate. Like we need an answer from World Aquatics, from FINA. Like you're in the inner circle now. Tell us why we can't get it, mate. Come on.
And boom, love it.
Yeah, and we got lacrosse. Come on, man. Make it make sense.
Is that another American sport we invented?
Yeah, you guys invented some weird stuff.
Become world champions at? Anyways, okay, we digress. How did Christoph Milak look this weekend?
He looked like he hadn't been back in the pool.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Who knows with that guy? He could rock. You'd not see him, and he could rock up on the day of the Olympics.
But he said he was racing, right? He said he was racing in Budapest.
Yes.
And then he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Correct. So that sucks.
Here's
one for you. Best male swimmer of the year. Purple Dragon, Chin Haiyang, or Leon?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Hard.
It depends what you go off. I feel like Super Dragon or Purple Dragon has done a lot more racing. So he's going to get a little bit more. Although, you know, like Leon depends if you count short course yards. Depends if you count that.
They're always going to give him the nod. He broke the world record.
Did Michael Phelps commentate the 50, 100, 200 breaststroke?
Didn't think so.
No. He was there for the 4 a.m.
I suppose it was the longest still there. So you have to give him that. But I don't know. I think Quinn I've been probably a little bit more, you know, racing fit. I think he's been probably more in the spotlight a little bit because he's done so many more races. He did Asian Games. He's done World Cups. But you could argue that Marshawn has done.
Leon's breaking world records, short course yards left and right.
Yeah.
He's getting all those short course yards, world records.
Those world records? You cannot say they're world records.
Yeah.
They are so not. You can't say world records because
world
it's
records.
not. It's ridiculous. Short course yard world records. Please.
Yeah, he's getting them all.
Short course yard. Sorry, Nate.
It's an interesting one. But yeah, for Dragon, what a year. What a calendar year as well.
I think you could argue it, with who is the swimmer of the year. So
And what about Petey? Just how close can he get?
I think that's like a great question. Instead of just all Chin Haiyang, because Adam Petey, does he have enough time to get back into form? His 50's not that bad. 26.7 or something. That's pretty damn good for taking 6 months off.
Well, the PD I knew was dominating the world, and every time he would crush a field, he'd get like a new lion tattooed on his arm, or he'd get like a samurai or something. He was a murderer, and now he's taking pictures with his competition like his best buddies. It's just
saw that.
You know, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, where'd the murderer
into
go?
the light?
He was
not
smashing people left and right. He was like this dominant, lion figure who sits on top of the mountain. That was his whole persona, and now his whole persona is, hey, I'm best friends with this dude who's whipping my butt. I don't know. It's just.
Do you think
weird.
that is because he's getting beaten? So he's trying to act like, quite nice because he's getting beaten. He doesn't want to be like a Sukilala.
I don't know what's happening. I guess it's a decent approach to go that route instead of being a little
sportsmanship
baby about it. Yeah, like he's like, okay, I'm getting beat right now. Maybe that's the thing. But I just remember for the years he was just like this figure of like, I'm the dominant man on the pool deck. This is my pool deck. I'm the king of the castle. And now it's like, that dude's better than me, and I'm going to take a photo with him. It's just different,
He went from hunter to hunted.
Yeah.
And once that happens, sometimes there's like, he's won 2 Olympics. He redid breaststroke, the entire stroke. He changed everyone's opinions on how fast you could swim the 1500 breaststroke. Like, what else is there? Right. And that's why the people that are hunting are the scariest people, because they're have those killers in them. It's hard to remain the killer, right? It's hard to be a Michael Jordan or a Tom Brady or a Michael Phelps.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's just a different approach to what they were seeing. So it's interesting.
I think it'll be hard to beat Quinn. I think he's just got so much confidence and he's got momentum and he knows that he's really good and he's hungry, hasn't won Olympic gold. He wants it, like Nate said, it's, he's been hunting him and he really wants it. So that's hard to beat. You can't really train that so much. It's just in you. So he looks scary for next year. For Petey.
Nate, can we get a picture of World Swimmer of the Year according to Megs up? Can we get that picture up that Megs, she's claiming this guy's World Swimmer of the Year? I'm not exactly sure why. We'll
oh my God. Tell me why
See?
not.
1 second.
You tell me why not.
We'll go to the picture, see who World Swimmer of the Year according to Megs is. Let's have a look.
Absolutely.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Oh, not even shaved down.
Interesting. And this is his Instagram, by the way. This isn't Meg's.
That's not mine.
Private collection.
All right. Interesting.
That's my swimmer of the year.
One thing that I brought up in the group chat was like, I got interviewed by some Italian swimming magazine over the weekend, and they were asking like how many medals you think that they could win, and I was like, not that many. Like other than Chacon, like who's there? Who's in the mix anymore? Like their relays aren't that great. The women's team is really kind of, I don't want to say falling off a cliff, but there's no superstar. There's no more Federica Pellegrini there.
Yeah.
You know, other than
4x1 had a mare, didn't they? And they missed the final at Worlds, and they were just gibbering.
And there's still people there. Paul Trineri is still there, albeit he's swimming in probably the most competitive event in men's swimming right now, with all these guys sniffing the world record in the mile. He's got a great chance in the 10K. They have a good chance to medal on the 4x100 freestyle relay. But this is the guy. This is the Italian superstar. This is the best backstroker in the world right now. He went 52 3 times in a row this month.
Which one is it?
Obviously,
can you pull him up again? I can't remember what he looks like.
Obviously
that
not shaved.
Oh, that guy.
He's got a very long torso.
We've got a long torso.
Yeah, longer than
massive
Michael
crown.
Andrew, that's
How many crowns did they hand out over the weekend, by the way? There was just everybody. Here's a crown. It was like Oprah Winfrey show. Here's a crown. Here's a crown. Everybody get a crown.
Hungry Jack's crowns.
Well, he got the 100 free and he got the 100 back. That's a good double.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go 100 free for next year as well?
Yeah.
He'll hunt the 100 back, 100 free.
I think he might do the 200 backstroke.
Yeah, I think he should. Honestly, I think he is pretty mad not to do that 200 backstroke.
He just went 156 a couple of times. I think he went 157.0 or something the third time.
Yeah.
156. Excuse me, in the middle of training.
Yeah.
The guy who wins the world record in the 100. That's probably arguably the weakest men's backstroke event. No one's even been close to the world record. Reloff is definitely not invited to Paris, so the Olympic champ ain't going to be there. This guy's got a great chance to if he wants to, he could definitely win Italian nationals, get qualified for the Olympics. Maybe he won't win, but he's going to be in the hunt for the podium. You know, for him to pass up the 200, I doubt that he does that. There's just
I'd like to see
medal right in front of his eyes.
Absolutely like to see that.
Great swim from Thomas Chacon. The damage down that first 50.
He's a character.
Yeah, he is.
Another one I like to see though is Sammy Short, obviously world champ in the 400 freestyle. He was back. He just came over to do the Budapest leg for the World Cup. Went 344, 147 in the 200. So I did send a message and asked him why he was only doing the one World Cup and why didn't he do 3? Because it felt like it was a long way from Australia to do 1. And he said he didn't want to drop the volume to do 3 weekends in a row. And he just wanted to do 1 to see where he was as a hit out for the opener of the season. And he drops a 344 for his first one. He is one that is hunting and he is hungry for more. He's got a really good chance. Obviously, he's got a few competitors in that comp for the 400. So it was good to see him, though. It was good to see him get, travel halfway across the world and drop a 344 or 147. So good to see Sammy Short back.
He was just as surprised as you.
Yeah.
What he said afterwards. He was like, damn, I can't believe I swam that fast in the middle of this.
Yeah. He's a racer, too. He can just get up and race, which I really like. He just wants it. He like actually likes pain.
Yeah, he was saying
to have a celebrity visit.
He was saying on the podcast how he's just increased his blocks. Like instead of doing 100s and 200s on repeat at race pace, he's doing up to 500s.
Yeah,
he's just definitely clearly a guy that thrives on that stuff.
Yeah,
he's going to be scary next year.
Yeah.
Damian Jones has got him pumping, and they got a great relationship, and they're just going strength to strength. More triple crowns with like Siobhan 1 and 200 triple crown, Sates 200 medley, 200 fly. Zhang Yufei was brilliant, wasn't she? 100, 200 fly. Obviously Sarah 50 fly, 50 free. Lani did well, got the distance, triple crown. Erica Fairweather, New Zealander, she got the 400. It's good to see her, and obviously Michael Andrew got the 50 back.
Yeah, I mean, 50 back doesn't mean anything. I mean, he wants some money, but it's like, I don't know. Again, I'm still perplexed as to what Michael Andrew is trying to achieve. Now I'm perplexed because, like, I mean, he swam some hundreds for sure, right? Like he swam
100
flies and
100 back.
Not
he
finishing
just
him
seemed
off,
to
though,
have
was he?
big success in the 50s of stroke.
Yeah.
And again, it just doesn't seem like that should be really an emphasis right now in the Olympic year. I mean, it's just nice to take some cash, and he's saying that he won the Triple Crown and the 50 back, but like, who cares really? Like, it's just the Olympic year. My mindset would be different in terms of that, but again, I just don't know where he's at and what he's focused on. Yeah, it's just slightly odd.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
you
think
see-
you go.
Sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
you go, Kurt.
No, I was just saying, you see what some of the swimmers got out of it. You see what Sarah got out of it. Like, she did the Triple Crown in the 50s, but still produced some beautiful 100 frees, 100 flies as well, and got a huge boost out of it, didn't she?
Yeah. Michael Andrew just needs to figure out what he's doing. Cam McAvoy is focusing on the 50 freestyle, and that is it. This dude's swimming everything again. He's swimming, trying to train all 4 strokes. Are you going to be the American record holder and the guy that leads Team America on the breaststroke leg of the medley relay again? Or are you going to try to swim the 50 backstroke? His focus is not there on something. It's on everything. And that's the biggest problem. You know who I'm excited about? I'm excited about Matt Sates.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about him.
Go ahead.
I like this guy. I think he had the hardest double. I think he did the dirty double at every World Cup, the 200 IM, the 200 fly. To do that is pretty. He's a good guy, and I was a bit disappointed not to see him at Worlds. So I think trying to see what he's going to be like at a big stage under pressure. It just happens to be the Olympics next year. Whether he does Doha or not at the Worlds, we saw him at the World. We've seen him at World Cups before. So, he did the Triple Crown, and what did he get? I think he got 3rd in the overall men's for the World Cup. So he is exciting. He did, won a couple of 400 IMs as well, but that 200 IM and the 200 fly. So obviously Marshawn is pretty dominant in those, but he's starting to get that consistency. He's starting to get that hunger again. So he's in form, which is exciting. And I think he's tough. He is tough. I think he fractured his wrist, did someone say, or his finger or something. And he kept swimming at the World Cups. Yeah. So, he's tough. And Brett, you were at some of those South African, 50-meter pools, and they just don't have the funding like some of the other countries do. So he's tough. He's a talent, and he might not have the facilities that everyone else has, but he's still killing it.
That's
it's good to see him back.
That's why he's not going to Doha, right? South Africa's not spending money to send him there.
Yeah,
I would assume.
I was just surprised he didn't go to Worlds this year as well.
And as Sonny says all the time, Rocco, they are only focused on the Olympics. This guy's just out here whipping these events back and forth, training his ass off. This is why he was so perfect for college swimming. He's that guy that can literally swim fast in any event that you need him to, and he'll come in there and he'll clean it up. And that's what he did that one year he was at Georgia, won the 500 freestyle in like something crazy, like 4:06. But he did it on the he wins. That's the thing. The problem is, and the question I proposed was, can he finally take the next step and swim fast in these events at taper meets, not World Cup meets, not short course yards meets?
What does he contend for gold in Paris?
I think he'll go the 400 IM and 200 fly.
He should final in all 3 of those events.
Yeah.
Finals are a different thing than contending for gold, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he just went 155.0 in the 200 butterfly, like after swimming for a whole month running around. Like, can you go 153.0 when you're rested in another 8 months? Because if you go 153.0, you're going to get silver. You would have gotten silver last year or bronze. That's a medal.
Yeah, on what he's shown this year, it's hard to get a read with no world champs, but he's going to be on the podium with something.
Surely. I think that 400 IM.
He's not winning the 4 IM at this stage, and it doesn't look likely that he's getting second in it either at this stage. He's not pushing up on times that would suggest that he's going to get gold or silver in the 4 IM. It doesn't seem like he's got the strength and speed to really contend for the gold or silver in the 2 IM, does it?
I think it's
I think Nate's right. I think we're talking about somebody that's very talented and very good, but I don't know if he is yet at that level where we're talking about him winning events or even finishing second at the Olympics.
Yeah, I'd like to see him try and get like on the podium for next year, whether it's a bronze or a silver in whatever he gets. But I'd like to see him, and maybe that's the confidence he needs to then take that next step again. But I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him up there next year. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. I'll tell you who is going to be on the podium or pushing is Siobhan. And again, the World Cup that she's had, just that, so close to that world record. You'd think now the 100 and that she's going to challenge whatever two Aussies are going to be there right next to her. Obviously, if we had Sunny on here, it'd be screaming through the mic telling us all that she can take him down. It's a tough task. It's not out of her reach, is it? And she's a pleasure to watch.
No, what is she, the third or fourth fastest swimmer ever in history in the 100? Yeah. She just went 52.2. She's been 52.0. I was predicting that at one of these stops she was going to get under 52 and become. I think there's only been 3 girls, right?
3.
Sarah Sostrom,
Emma
McKeown,
and Kate.
No,
she hasn't been under.
She ever has? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think there's only 2. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty cool elite club. But I think with Siobhan, she's had such a big, probably last couple of months. To go from Worlds to go to Asian Games and then 3 World Cups. That's a lot of racing. It's a lot of experience, and she's still producing times. So, her mindset is really strong, and I think she's taking that momentum as well. Off those 3 World Cups to still be able to swim fast. I think she's definitely going to be there in that 100. I nearly put my hat on it. She'll be top first or top 3 for sure. I don't want to jinx anyone, but I think she'll definitely be there.
Well, she's got a much easier path to get there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if
she
you're
doesn't have
Australian,
the stress of trials,
there you could be 3rd or 4th or 5th at Australian trials and still be 52 low.
Yeah, I think that's the most nerve-wracking thing, is just making the team. Once you're on it, it's fine. You go and swim and you have a good time, but making that team, trials is the most craziest experience. I think it's obviously like US trials as well, but yeah, the trials are usually more nerve-wracking.
I think that 100 free for women right now is like, you could be 52 low and you could either win the Olympics or you could finish 4th.
Yeah.
It's just stacked at that top end. You never know how it's going to play out. Who's going to be on the day. We're coming down to hundreds of seconds type thing. And there's 4 or 5 girls around that mark that can kind of get there. And it's going to be like, well, who hits on the day? It could be Siobhan.
Yeah.
It could be Siobhan's day where she takes the gold, or she could be slightly off and 52.3 and she's 4th. You know what I mean? So it's like, that to me is where the 100 freestyle for women is right now.
I think that's going to be the race of the Olympics. I think that women's 100 freestyle. Yeah, I think also the men's, but I think that's the depth in that is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a great World Cup.
100 free is going to be a cracker at the Olympics, both men and women. There's just so much depth. And
I
even
think
in the
in
lead
the
up to the trial events are going to be pretty cool to watch. See who gets their hand on the wall. I was just in Cal and spending time with like a guy like Jack Alexi, who looks really good, by the way. That kid is
working on
really focused, right? Like, I think he's the next big American thing. He even competes or is even better than a Dressel in the 100 free right now. I don't know if he's got Dressel in the 50 yet, but his 100 free is like, he could be the guy in America he's only 20 years old. He could be the man for the next 6-7 years if he wanted to be, kind of thing. So he's really in and on, and he's just another name that you have to throw in the mix in that 100 free who could possibly win in Paris, right? Like, there's probably 7 or 8 guys now that you're throwing into that mix of like, well, whoever's on the day in the 100 free is man, that's going to be a cracker. But I think even just making teams, he's got to get on the team first, get that 1-2 spot. It's going to be really interesting to see the trial events. We're talking a lot about the Olympics, but it's just who's going to qualify and what spot is going to be a lot of fun in the lead up,
Exactly.
Are we
I mean,
getting
like,
down to Indianapolis or what?
Yeah.
yeah, dude, we got front row tickets on the deck. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're there. We're there.
Right,
We're there. We're going to
Was,
get a deck pass. We're going to do some
We're going to
media.
host some shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
Yep.
Alexi working on those starts with his hands together and feet together? And
Actually, you know, the funny thing is they did a session where they were getting off the blocks and they had suits on, and he got up to do a 25 dive, and his hand split, and I was like, oh man, like let's not do that. He's like, yeah, that's the last time that happens. I'm like, no, that's the second time it's happened. So it's like you got to stop doing that, man.
you got to stop doing that, man.
Yeah, he's got this hand
Absolutely.
split thing. It's just like, oh no, don't make that part of your regular training. So yeah,
Who else
Yeah.
impressed you while you were there, Brett? Because it's
Yeah.
different when you're watching on TV. It's just not the same when you're on a deck and you can watch these guys
Yeah.
swimming up and down for 2 or 3 hours. Like, it's very noticeable.
Yeah, Dario Rose is really impressive. I don't know, you know, he's focused on trying to get to 49. That's where he wants to be, but he's training for the 200 and he's going to swim the 200. So I'm like, yeah, I like the idea behind that. I just don't know if that puts you in a position to be the fastest 100 butterfly in the world next year. You know, like I think it makes him competitive for sure. He's 50.4, right? Like, but if you're training for the 200, does that really shift your focus away from being the number one guy in the 100? That's all I'm saying. So like he's there and he's got a lot of talent, a lot of good things. I still don't think he's like maybe as strong as he possibly could be for that 100 fly. I think he's got some things to clean up, that a little detail work that maybe if you're training for the 200, you might slip on a little bit of those really specific details. I know he was working on his turns while I was there, and I put something up on Instagram, and he's got a couple of little things to clean up, but he's a talent. He can really hold water, and I love where he's at. And I do think he's still going to contend next year. It'll just be interesting to see how it all comes together for him, but he's in a good spot.
How is he like a physical stature type of a character?
Yeah, he's big. Again, I think like he's not super like buff, strong, kind of like he doesn't look like a 100 butterfly just yet. He looks kind of like that guy that could swim a good 200, and you know I just think if with age, and he decides to bulk up a little bit and maybe focus more with age, maybe by LA, he's the guy that like no one can touch in the 100 fly. You know, I just think right now he's just young. He's still figuring out whether he wants to swim a really good 2 fly, and so that they're still in that process of doing all that. So maybe it's just an odd position for him to be in right now, where the Olympics is so close. Maybe LA is his thing, where he's like a full-grown man and he's put on strength and he's just like, man, this guy's swimming like 49 flat by then. I don't know, but he's definitely a talent. You know, the other one who was impressive to me just physically, I didn't know he was this kind of big, was Destin Lasco. Destin's a pretty big dude, solid. Like, you got solid legs, solid shoulders. Like, he looks stronger than I thought he was. And I was talking to Murphy about him, and Murph is like, this guy can just train. He's like, he can beat me, 7 out of 10 times in practice. Like he's like, Murph was like saying, he gets me, like he's good. And I said, well, is he going to get you next year in the 2 back? He's like, he could. He's like, there's no reason why he couldn't. Murph's a competitor, but Murph's like, well, he's got to beat me on the day, but he's like, he gets me in practice. So Destin Lasco is definitely one that I'd keep an eye on. He's super talented, and he's a big boy, and he's training hard. So that was interesting. Yeah. So
program looks like a great program to be a part of.
Yeah.
Crazy talented program.
Yeah, stacked across the board with a lot of good men walking around that pool deck. The women are getting better. Certainly with some of the recruiting they got coming in the next few years, but the men's side was definitely stacked with talent all across the board. Everywhere you look, big men, like 6'4", 6'5" men walking around the pool deck. Yeah, a lot of really good talent. Pretty focused on getting better every day. So good amount of focus. So yeah, that Cal program has really got it clicking on, especially on the men's side right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good content there. I like it.
Yeah. I'll wrap up my Cal content in the next day or so, and then move on and get on to the next thing, That's what we
Before
do.
we
I like
go
it.
off World Cup, is there anyone else that we kind of missed that I just thought, like, do we give Yafei enough credit for what she can do and the
No,
year
we
that she's
don't.
had as well? And she is just the smiling assassin, and just she's just so honest and upfront. I hates the 200 fly and then crushes it. And she's there, and her and Sarah got this cool little battle as well in that 100 fly that they to and fro, and you think that's going to go forward to Paris as well. But she's she's great for the sport, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a character, and I kind of like when she does some interviews because she just brings. It's just like a little bit refreshing, like you don't really know what she's going to come out with, and she's just a personality which swimming kind of needs. But she swims fast as well, and she's getting better, I think, at her her starts and her underwaters as well. I think she's she's not quite up where Sarah is, but she's getting better and better. But yeah, I think she's a good one to watch out for that 100-200 double as well for next year. I think she's a smiling assassin, and I really like her. I'd be pretty happy to see her get double. She deserves it.
She's a killer, dude. Did you see her in the two flies? She's out like 27-2 or 27-1 or something.
Lunatic.
I clicked onto it and I was like, this must be like almost over. She was two body lengths in front of all the girls at the 50.
That's gonna hurt.
But yeah, she's just she's got real raw speed. Each of those hundreds, she's out like very, very fast. Just blisteringly fast. No one's going 56.0 right now other than her. I think Regan went 57.5 yesterday. It's not even in the game. So,
and there's not a lot to her either. Like, she doesn't have a ton of muscle mass. She's very girl next door kind of build.
I kind of think her and Shaban have a lot of similarities. They both have very bubbly personalities where they're both seen smiling all the time. Both of them swim the 100 and the 200. One's free, one's fly, and they both have chances to win.
And crazy front end speed. Like, same with Siobhan in that 200 free. Like, what was going on there at like the 50 and the 100? Like, she is just whoa. And I think what I love about, sorry to just put your fate at one side, but that battle in the 1 and 2 with Siobhan and Molly is they swim the race both opposites. So to see them come together makes it even more tantalizing, doesn't it?
I love this. I loved Siobhan just drops like a 4. Would she drop a 406 or 405 in the 400?
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you imagine Molly just coming out and dropping a 405? Like, what? You should just decide to swim a 400 free at that first World Cup. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to have as well.
I'm going to be down in Australia with Kurt. Kurt's going to bypass me. He's going to be out of there, but I'll be down in Australia. I'm going to do some clinics in Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne. So
sweet.
I'm going to be popping into some programs, checking in on Dean Boxall and his program, see what they're up to. But seeing what Cam McAvoy's doing. So yeah, I'm gonna pop into a bunch of programs while I'm there. But yeah,
serial killer, Foley's.
Yep. You guys head to clemswim.com, and if you want tickets to those clinics, they're up on the ClemSwim website. You can come see us and come work with us. But yeah, doing a bunch of clinics down there would be pretty cool.
Very cool.
Sounds good.
All right, I gotta go.
Later.
Right.
All right,
That's good.
Good night,
That's
Kurt.
it.
Good night, Kurt. Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Night,
Make
Kurt.
it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
We're doing it.
Bye.